Very good afternoon and welcome to the Key Centre for this clash between New Zealand, who are currently doing the haka. And what a terrific start to this game. The Kiwis putting on a beautiful haka there, getting themselves psyched and ready for this clash against Sweden. First time for myself, John O'Farr, calling the Kiwis. It's taken me 4 days to get there. And Grant Sharman, a man that would know certainly plenty about New Zealand wheelchair rugby, joins me in the broadcast booth. Great to have you here, Grant. How do you see this one going between Sweden and New Zealand?
Jono, it's a pleasure to be here. It's great to see so many teams at the World Champs. Look, this is a crunch game, isn't it, really? The winner of this team goes into the middle of the draw, so everything to play for. I don't know. The Swedes have been playing very well. Kiwis, they've struggled a bit, but they've got some good players. And, you know, big games, let's see what they come.
So you can see the Kiwi side just getting themselves ready. Pumped up, ready to go. There's some terrific players in this side. Gavin Rolton, Hayden Barton-Coots, Maya Armai, one of the 5 women that are involved in wheelchair rugby. Great to have her, one of the veterans probably of wheelchair rugby. Wonderful to see Michael Todd back in the side. He was a superstar for them. The last time I called him live in the national level against the New South Wales, Queensland, South Australia, those sort of sides. And Clayton Utia, who comes into this team. And what about this Swedish side, Grant? There's so many superstars in this team. Hildebrand, Sandberg, Noren, Newbacker, Janssen, Yet, chock-a-block full of talent.
And I think that might be the difference. The Swedes can bring on several different lineups, which brings a change to the way the game's played, also in energy levels. Kiwis don't quite have that same luxury.
So we're almost set for a start. Nice tap away by Hayden Barton-Coots, and Cam Leslie tries to get possession of it, but it goes back to Coots. Coots works it nicely. Great pass to HBC, and here comes Cam Leslie. And Leslie gets the opening try for the Kiwis. Great low-level shot there from the team at B Live Streaming. They're our broadcast partner of the 2018 GIO IWRF Wheelchair Rugby World Championships, doing a superb job the last 4 days as Sandberg nicely works it for Sweden. Good pass downtown, finds Tomas Yet, and he gets the first try there for the Swedes. So nice little back and forth wheelchair rugby here so far, Grant.
Yeah, good to see too that two games are happening. You've got the backcourt stuff going on and then the front court stuff, and it's interesting to see how that plays. You know, what they do at the back, how that affects the front end.
So Leslie will just use his time on the shot clock, 26 seconds. He now charges at the line. Beautiful work from Coots to try and protect him, but he might have got in his way a little bit there. Little Cody Everson working well close to the line. Just creates a nice pathway for Leslie to go through. Cheeky little boy there, Everson. He's a great kid.
He's a great kid, and it's interesting to see that. Look, I'm sure that Cam Leslie can shrink himself. He got through a gap there. There was, you wouldn't get a net through. But look down court, see what's happening. Long play.
Hildebrand goes short to Yet. Yet has Sandberg right in front of him, but he'll charge up the middle. Draws the man in Coots and gives it to Sandberg. And now Tobias Sandberg. He'll get points here.
We've got a man down, Jono. Man down in the back court.
Yeah, looks like
I think it's Cam.
Yeah. It's
having a wee rest, I think.
So, yeah, it is Cam Leslie. A low shot there, captures it well. So the coaching staff will come on. We've mentioned this a couple of times across the broadcast, but obviously it's our first time together, Grant. It's amazing to me, based on the high collisions in these sport, that we haven't seen a major injury. It's good to see, obviously, but I just would have thought after 4 days of really solid action, we probably would have seen one by now.
Well, the question is, how much worse can it get, really? So, I mean, define a serious injury.
Well, that's true. That is very true.
But they do think, oh, look at that.
Nice
So
work.
he went over too early. No goal.
Janssen denied there at the line.
They've got it. They obviously wasn't paying attention, and you just can't do that. That's a gift, really. He was unopposed.
So Everson will play it inbound for the Kiwis. We'll try and find some opportunities there. Has his man in Rolton just short there, but might go to Leslie and does. Leslie now jammed into the corner. Rolton tries hard
Watch
to
Everson
try and
go
get
long.
out
Watch
there.
Everson go long.
Everson.
Oh, pushed him out.
Yeah, so there we go. So he's knocked him out there, Cam Leslie. Great work there from Sandberg.
It's a coach's nightmare. Turnover. You know, they get the turnover and they give it right back. Oh, it breaks your heart.
So, of course, you spent a fair bit of time with the New Zealand rugby side. Athens 2004, the championships in 2006. Tell us about some of those experiences.
Oh, look, it was amazing, both as a player and a coach. It was incredible time. You know, I've got a respect for coaches because it's really hard work. But we went into Athens ranked 6th, I think it was,
Yep.
and really come out of nowhere. And, you know, we'll see the Canadians try scored. We'll see the Canadians and the Americans beat the crap out of each other later on today.
Yeah.
They did that in the semi-final, and we came through. So thank you very much.
Yeah, they take the court at 6:30. That'll be at the Netball Centre. You'll be able to watch all the live action of that one. 2018 WRWC.com. And, of course, Australia-Japan as HBC gets another try for the Kiwis, and they lead at 3-2. There's some wonderful games tonight. We've got, of course, Australia-Japan. That's here at the Key Centre. That'll be a terrific game. Myself and Molly Gray will call all the action of that. But USA-Canada, this one's going to be a terrific game. USA still yet to register a loss. So Canada, they can sort of go to Big Brother here a bit and shaking things up. Are they capable of that?
No, look, I just don't think Canada have got the firepower. I actually think we're going to see a bloodbath. I think there's a lot of, you know, they talk about Kiwi-Aussie rivalry.
Yep.
The Canadians-Americans got nothing on that. They're just vicious. Yeah. So I think the Yanks will really decide it's time to pay a few debts, and I think there'll be a few broken wheelchairs later on. It'll be worth watching for that.
So there you go. You'll be able to see all that live action, or if you do watch Australia-Japan, it's on the on-demand service. So you can always watch the replay a little bit later. 2018 WRWC.com for all your event details.
And how critical is that game? Aussie-Japan. Yeah, that is such a, you know, it's a must-win.
Huge game.
It's
huge
massive.
Game. I honestly think we haven't had a game yet, I don't think, that's gone to extra time. But I've got a huge feeling that one's going to another quarter.
I think it'll go very close, actually. Good pressure here by the Kiwis.
They apply nicely as Sandberg works his way through
there's
that
the mistake.
Key, and there's the mistake
now,
there.
Will they turn it over? Hold on. Leslie calling the timeout there. He's got one in the bank. Let's call it. Keep it safe. Let's not give the ball back.
So the referee's just making that call, the timeout. And the Kiwis will go to their bench for their discussions.
That's a bit of a change. Back in the day, it was, I think, 3 timeouts. Now it's 4 timeouts, 4 players' timeouts for 30 seconds, and 2 for the coaches for a minute.
That's it, yep.
So clearly strategic timeouts for the players, and we saw one used very well there.
And it's been interesting because we saw Ireland earlier at the day on the Key Centre. You would have missed this, but Ireland used all 4 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And then Poland used 3 in the first quarter. So it's very interesting to see how teams use them. The Kiwis have used their first, and it's 5:45 to go, as you can see in this contest. So, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's just crucial when you pick your times. Were you someone that let the game flow and would do that, or how would you sort of work out to when timeouts would come in?
Well, we went on the concept that you didn't get any refund if you had timeouts left over at the end of the game. So, you know, might as well use them if you got them, but use them smartly, because, I mean, the reality is in a close game, you want one of those at least in the fourth quarter to get you out of jail if it's close. And if you haven't got them, you're in big trouble.
As Leslie just works his way nicely and slows down the clock, you can see it there, 33 seconds to count.
If you look off the ball, you can see what the Kiwis want to do and what the Swedes are doing. The Kiwis want to have 2 low players to block number 6, and the Swedes won't let our other low go. So this is the off-the-ball strategy that you've got to look for.
So Leslie gets the try there as Cody Everson was protected in that corner there. Nicely by Yet and Janssen.
So the whole point was to make this guy inbound, because normally he doesn't, and then come over and put him under real pressure, and that's what's happening.
So nice work from Sandberg. He's got some pressure, but Hildebrand is just preventing the path there. Brilliant stuff from Tobias Sandberg. Brilliant pass across to Tomas Yet, and the Swedes are over for a try. And now it's 5-4. So starting to peg back. Sweden have been a side that have really gone hammer and tong with a lot of sides in this competition, Grant.
Yes, and I think I've been impressed with the way... Oh, here we go. What's happened here? Reaching foul. So that takes the pressure off a little bit. 4-on-3. Yes, I've been impressed with a lot of the European sides. Like I said, I haven't seen the game for a while, but they've certainly seemed to have come on both in depth of players and in skill. So, that's good to see.
Nice inbound from Everson. Everson gives it to HBC, and now Coots will take it up for the Kiwis. They lead it 5-4 with just under 5 to play before quarter time. If you've never seen the game, 4 8-minute quarters, and then, of course, if we need to, we go in extra time. We just play until we get a result.
Yeah, 3 minutes of overtime, and you just keep on playing 3 minutes until you're dead.
The furthest I've gone is 3 overtimes. I've seen bronze games go double overtime. And, of course, Australia and USA at the 2016 Olympics, that went double overtime.
And wasn't that a great game?
One of the great results and victories for the Australians as Yet goes through for that try for Sweden. Gets them back in striking distance at 6-5, just over 4.5 to play. Be interesting to see when New Zealand decide to make a couple of changes. I can see Clayton Utia sitting on the bench now as Coots works his way nicely around Sandberg. Goes bang into Jansen. Nice pass across court. And Leslie and Coots combine well, yet under some pressure. Sandberg just on the right of screen. Now he comes back, Leslie. Has Coots there. Coots calls for the ball. Leslie works it in that attacking key. Pops the pass over. Coots will get it. Open court. Beautiful stuff from the Kiwis. Here comes Jansen for the attack, but it might be too little too late. And the Kiwis strike for another try.
Interesting stuff there is we had Hayden with the ball, but the action was off the ball. So they were trying to surround the Swedish players, force the ball carrier down. A lot of off-the-ball stuff. You've got to really keep your eye on the court here.
So Sandberg will inbound it. Nice pass across. Beautiful stuff from Yet. Yet works it well. Coots just tries to have a little grab at the molten ball. A big collision there with Cam Leslie and Yet. Yet loses the ball courtesy of Cam Leslie. Nicely picked and regathered by Yet. Picked up by Jansen. Clever work.
And very unlucky. He got the strip but just couldn't recover it. It's just the way it goes. But that's all pressure, and they'll be thinking about that. Ball protection.
So 7-6 in favour of the Kiwis, but Sweden are really keeping themselves alive in this one. As you can see, just under 4 minutes to go before quarter time.
An interesting defensive line up there, so a low point inbound, and the Swedes are going for a line because their low pointer can't pass it so far.
So a big thank you to all our sponsors, the naming rights sponsor GIO, major sponsors City, Land Rover, of course the wonderful support from the government in the Australian government, state government and Sydney.com. And then the great support from the Australian Defence Force, the Navy, Rugby AU and Wheelchair Sports New South Wales. All wonderful to have them here right across the 4 days of the championships as it's played to Cam Leslie for the Kiwis. And they'll get another try on that one. Jansen tried his best to get in there, but Sweden will now inbound it through Tobias Sandberg. The low shot shows it nicely there, the setup for the Swedes. As Sandberg just gets himself set. Rolton comes across for the Kiwis. Coots trying to create some issues. Jansen gets the ball, loses possession.
So that came about. They achieved what they wanted to do. The two Kiwi low pointers trapped Tobias in there, so he said, I'll do the inbound. It's not what he's there to do, but he was forced to do it. And that's where the pressure comes on. So timeout called. It wasn't a turnover, but in the early stages you see a timeout as a kind of a turnover, because once all four are gone, then it's turnover time.
So 3.5 to go before quarter time. 8-6 in favour of the Kiwis. The Swedes, they come back onto the court, as you can see. Gavin Rolton causing a few issues, and now the protection just starts in that corner.
So same thing again. We've got a low point inbound, so the Kiwis are forcing them to pass over our two high pointers.
Lofgren inbounds it. Nice tap away. The Swedes under some pressure, but no more because Jansen will go through. Stefan Jansen gets the try for the Swedes.
And that was a very nice bunt by the low point, a very nice bunt.
8-7 in favour of the Kiwis now. Coots works it nicely, tries to get around a few, gives it to Leslie. Leslie just bursts his way through that defensive pattern, comes through nicely. Here comes Sandberg, big collision. Great pass, Hayden Barton Coots. Try for the Kiwis. Brilliant stuff, Grant.
Yeah, look, it's a close, tight game. The teams are still feeling each other out. Now, the ref's he's lost patience. He's put the ball down. There's no one there. Let's see what happens.
Inbound pass. Nice catch there from Sandberg. He had Velcro on his hands the other day, Grant. He was catching them from everywhere. Yet has the pass inbound, but he'll call the timeout.
And, you've got to trace this timeout back to the lead-up. So, a lot of pressure. the Swedes weren't set up for the inbound. A rushed inbound, probably went to the wrong person. The Kiwis put the pressure on. That's another 2 timeouts in, less than a minute? That's great work.
So you can see the Kiwis on screen just coming forward. They're having some chats there. Rolton, Leslie, Coots and Everson. They're the 4 there. And Janssen, Lofgren, Yet and Sandberg. That's the 4 for Sweden. And now it will be inbound from Lofgren. Rickard Lofgren. Been a pretty solid player at the back for Sweden. He bunts it to down and Sandberg will get it. Fortuitous bounce. Big thumbs up from Tobias.
Only just, wasn't it, eh? Nat's ball in that one.
So he goes through for the try and we're 9-8. So they're back to 1 point margin. Everson tries to find his man. Looking left and right. Fires the pass. Beautiful ball to Leslie. Read that well, Cody. Nice work to Cam Leslie. Leslie works nicely. Rolton in protection. Coots is flying up the flank. And the ball inbound goes there. Great amount of support here for the Kiwis. You can probably hear them in the background cheering on their side. They're a team that no matter where they go in the world, they always get great support.
Well, there's always Kiwis somewhere, isn't there? And they all turn out to work to support, and it's good to see.
I think there's more here in Australia than there is back home.
Well, just quietly, I think you're right.
Sandberg works it nicely for Sweden, just trying to get around. Rolton does his best to get in there. Coots, you can see, trying to protect the line. Clever little pass across to Yet. Yet works it nicely. The low shot shows it beautifully. Yet looking for options. Finds Sandberg. Sandberg, brilliant catch. Close to the line. That's what I'm talking about. He's got Velcro on those hands, Grant.
He puts that big mid out and it sticks like glue. It's good to see.
Brilliant stuff there. Take us through this replay here, Grant.
So they brought it over. They've spreaded it. Gavs tried to come in. He was a bit too slow there. He put his hand right out and over he went. Good vision.
What a catch.
Well, I think we just missed turnover. Long.
Goes down to Coots. So the turnovers come. Brilliant work from Gavin Rolton on that occasion.
Keep your eye on the back. Keep your eye on the back court here. There's a lot going on down there. They've trapped a guy down there.
So there's a couple of Kiwis in some trouble there.
Yes. Well, I think the Swedes are in trouble in this one. They're down low, fast inbound, and you see the clock's ticking.
Nice inbound to Yet. Yet works hard. Big collision with Coots. Great stuff from the Swedes. They go inside the attacking half. Fortuitous bounce for Sandberg. Took it so comfortably, won't waste time. And Tobias Sandberg goes through for the try.
And look, didn't panic, worked it up court, knew what they were doing. That's the hallmark of a good side.
Inside the 2-minute mark of this first term, 11-10 in favour of New Zealand. Barton Coots works it nicely. Smart pass across to Leslie. Leslie works it nicely. There's 2 Swedes, but here comes Sandberg just up on his left-hand side. Couldn't get him. Fed the gap beautifully.
Like a knife through butter.
And he goes through for the try.
Of course, we're getting now into the tactical side of when they score last, etc., around the 1:30 mark. They won't look to score too quick.
So pass back inbound and Yet gets the try there for the Swedes. 90 seconds to go before quarter time. It's going at a frenetic pace here, Grant. 12-11. You'd have to be happy with the Kiwis' performance so far.
Yeah, I'm very happy. Very composed. They've got to maintain this. I thought the Swedes have been a bit lacklustre. Maybe they took it out of them when they played the Japs, but they're just not quite. I thought them to really come out firing, and they've let the Kiwis in. So
Leslie works it nicely. Barton Coots just trying to find protection. Cody Everson doing well in some tough stuff. Is that a striking call or
no? So what's
happened? The key?
So what's happened there? He's been pushed over the back court, so it's out of bounds play. So it's been a turnover. So this is very, very unfortunate. A good play by the Swedes. So not unfortunate as far as they're concerned.
So Janssen now tries to work it down court. He's flying away, but Sandberg has possession of the Molten ball. Pops it over the top nicely. Gives it there to Yet. Yet works hard down inside that attacking key. Janssen won't play a role. He'll just sit back and watch Tomas Yet go through for the try. We're all squared up. A minute to go before quarter time. Exactly. And this is when you've really got to hold your nerve and you've got to be on game. So let's see what the Kiwis do here. 52 seconds, 40-second shot clock. Wheel change there for Hayden Barton Coots. You can see We were keeping track last year, the commentary team, and over the 4-day event, the test event for this World Championships, there were 72 tyre changes among all the teams.
Look, it doesn't surprise me. One game I coached, Phil, our wheel guy, he never actually saw the game.
Just in the back pumping up tyres.
Exactly.
I love it.
He had no idea the result.
Oh, what a shame. There's Sweden try to go on the attack. New Zealand have regathered the lead as we were chatting there. And Sandberg now tries to go down court. He gets a nice pass from Yet. One-handed catch. Brilliant stuff. Leslie's on his tail trying to stop him. He'll slow up the clock and just reset. Janssen providing protection. Big collision with Coots. Now Lofgren's providing a nice little passage there. About 16 seconds left on that shot clock. You can see it in the top right of your screen. Sandberg works it nicely. 13-12 in favour of the Kiwis. Looking for an opportunity. The low shot shows it well. Beautiful pass from Sandberg across to Yet. And the Swedes tie it up with 8 seconds. What a game we're having here, Grant.
It's a very good game. Now, 8 seconds on the clock's a lifetime. These boys should have trained for this to score within 8 seconds. Here we go.
Leslie up the middle court, 13 all. Can he break the deadlock? 3 seconds to go. Working hard, going hard at the line. He goes over.
Ooh, what's the call?
Tips.
Let's wait and see, because if it's a flagrant, that'll be interesting.
0.3 of a second left on the clock. The Swedish coach is up and about.
Yeah, Benoit won't be too happy with this. So what was the call? Was it a flagrant?
So there's a player being sent to the penalty box, according to the court announcer.
So if it's a flagrant, he's off for 2 minutes. And so they're playing a man down for 2 minutes. That's not good.
So
4 in the key. So 4 in the key was his, not obviously spin, they let go. So
Tomas Yet is the man for Sweden in the bench. So they're down to 3 players with 0.3 of a second. This will be interesting, this inbound, Grant.
Yeah, look, technical sub here. 0.3 of a second. He's brought on Tyler Jennings. Obviously got a really good inbound here. But Hayden's a long way away.
Jennings fires a pass, goes to Bert Coots. Oh, that's outstanding.
0.3 of a second.
How on earth did he do that?
Oh, Andy Chittick take a bow. What a wonderful tactical substitution.
Take us through the replay, Grant.
So he lined up, Hayden the far side, pinpoint accuracy, clock doesn't start until he touches the ball, over he went. Gee, you train and train and train for that, never believing it's going to happen.
Wow, what a finish to an exciting first term. The Kiwis lead it courtesy of Hayden Barton Coots, 14-13, quarter time, a break and back with more.
Hello, Jean. Good of you to let your husband borrow your brand new car. Your insurance covers you, though, right?
I think so.
Jenny, you got a new employee and a new Narazzo 1300. That machine's insured, isn't it? Date night, eh?
Yeah, and our daughter's having a few friends over.
Yeah, I saw that on social media. I take it your home is insured for that. Don't just think you're covered, know you are with GIO.
See, feel, climb. First out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies. Go down dark alleys, lose yourself. Catch a lift, break new ground. Turn things inside out. Go walkabout, get set. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
Lindsay, look at you two. Date night?
Our daughter set it up.
Well, that is a thoughtful child.
I know, right? She even booked us dinner in a hotel. She might even have a few friends over.
Yeah, I reckon there's 120 people coming to your house tonight. You are insured, aren't you? Don't just think your home is covered. Know it is. With accidental damage cover with GIO Platinum Home Insurance.
And welcome back to the Key Centre. And it's a great game we've got in progress here. 14-13 in favour of the Kiwis. But here's Sweden on the attack. Pop over the pass. Oh, good work from Yet to Sandberg. And the try is there. So whatever the Kiwis can do, the Swedes can do better.
Yes, this is a good, tight, close game. It's the sort of rugby you want to watch.
Nice pass inbound to Leslie.
Ooh.
Hand in there from Sandberg. And the striking call has been called by the referee.
That was just a bit too intimate. I think he was hanging on for dear life.
So 7.5 minutes to go before half-time. So 30 seconds into this contest. And it'll come down for the inbound for Everson. Everson will fire it nicely to Coots. Coots works his way up the court. Has Rolton just in front of him. Has Leslie as an option just on his left-hand flank, as you can see. Leslie goes a little bit further in front, as you could expect. But it'll be all HBC that just slows up the clock. 23 seconds left on that shot clock as he crosses the line. And the Kiwis now, they take back the lead, 15-14. Real back and forth, real thrilling stuff here at the Key Centre, Grant.
And a lot of tactics too, you know. The low pointers, they nailed Hurt on the inbound, forced an inbound, not the normal inbounder. Puts pressure on, so.
Nice work from Sandberg, works it to the line. And he'll just go for that try in a matter of moments. He crosses the line. John O'Farr and Grant Sharman in commentary. Former New Zealand coach. Great to have you here in the broadcast box and calling the game. What have you made of the tournament over the last 4 days?
I think it's been very exciting, and I've actually been loving the coverage. It's great to see, to turn on the live stream and see the action and good angles too. I've loved that side of it.
Yeah, it's been wonderful to be calling it live here courtside and be live streaming. They deserve a big pat on the back for all the coverage that they do.
Absolutely.
All the low coverage shots, all the different camera angles you see, the access that they get. They've done a wonderful job as Yet works it nicely inside that attacking key. Ricard Lofgren will work hard to block out HBC. He did well there in that area, Lofgren, to really distract HBC, a hard thing to do.
Well, he held his line, and the other guy used him nicely. Hurt used him and followed him, and that's what you want from your lows. Here we go.
Nice pass to Leslie. Leslie just
now
in
the
some
action's in the
open
back court. The action's in the back court now.
So Barton Coots is just being held back as Leslie goes through. The low shot shows it there. 6.5 to go before half-time. That's the main break. And now 17-16. The Kiwis narrowly lead it. The inbound will come here from Ricard Lofgren for Sweden. He won't waste too much time. He might go short to Sandberg and does. Sandberg just works his way nicely. Tries to get around Leslie. Rolton causing a few dramas there. Nice inbound pass from Sandberg. One bounce in the card of Yet. Yet works hard. Cody Everson doing his best, but Tomas Yet just a little too quick. And he goes through, puts the Molten ball over the touchline, and another try for Sweden. 17 apiece. Great game here, Grant.
Yeah, look, I think it is actually. I think it's going to go right down to the wire. I think it'll go down to who's got some timeouts left in the fourth quarter. I think it'll come down to who holds their nerve and continues to execute.
So Leslie getting a tyre change there, as you can see. Hayden Barton, Coots and Rolton just getting themselves set for this next play. 17 apiece. Kiwis looking to break the deadlock. They move it inside that defensive pattern. They do that outside the 12-second margin. They move in the attacking key. Now a couple of options left and right. Beautiful stuff from Cootsy. Moves in well. It was guarded nicely from Cam Leslie on the right there, Grant, and it just created a nice passage for HBC.
Look, you've got a great contrast. You've got brute force in Hayden, and then you've got the finesse of Cameron. It's a lovely, they work well together.
Sandberg works it nicely to Yet. Hand in the ball there from Leslie. Bang goes Coots. Bang goes Leslie. The big Kiwi hard men go at Yet. Yet's under some pressure. Needs to get the Molten ball out of his hands. Pops the pass. Sandberg, good catch. Sweden beautifully. Jansen, magnificent. Sweden, what a try. Yeah, 18 all.
Look, they passed it round there. They didn't panic. Good hands all around.
So now they move it up court. Works it nicely through Leslie. Leslie feeds the gap. Beautiful stuff. Hayden Barton Coots. Here comes Everson trying to take out Sandberg. Look at the cheeky little fella.
I think he's just saying welcome to the game, and it's good to have you here.
So it's good work there from the Kiwis and the Swedes. The try goes there. 19-18 in favour of the Kiwis. Big bang from Coots on Yet. Yet goes hard. Moves his way up the court. Nice work from Leslie on the flank. Everson trying to go left and right. Did particularly well in the end there, but just couldn't get Yet in the end. And the try goes to Sweden. So we're all locked up again with 5 to go before half time.
And you want to force the pass because that's where the turnovers come from. So, here we go. So he's got his hand to it.
Jansen.
Yep, turnover. So Cody did the inbound, couldn't quite get it, and the Swede put his hand up. Ball went long, and now they've got it. So here they go.
Good work from Sandberg, close to the key. The low shot sums it up well, and nice pass across to Yet. And Thomas Yet scores for Sweden. That breaks the deadlock, so they get the lead for the first time in a little while, as Everson will inbound it. He'll try and go long with the Moulton ball. Looking for an option, but he can't. Timeout called, I think, by Hayden Barton-Coots.
I think it might have been Cody.
Okay.
He had the ball, he was doing the count, and he's looking out there. No one to pass to. It was a good timeout to take, but the pressure's on. Now the Kiwis have got to wake up and get back in the game. They've just taken the foot off the pressure. And, the Swedes, fair credit. They've caused a turnover. They've got the momentum.
So 20-19 in favour of the Swedes. You can see the Kiwis just having their discussions. Interesting to see when they bring on Clayton Utia and, of course, Mike Todd. A couple of veterans in the side.
Yep.
So they're running with their current lineup at the moment, it would look like.
But
Meyer's coming on.
Yeah, they've gone 3-2-2-1. So this gives them a bit more balanced lineup. Means they're lacking one big high pointer, but they've got Cameron out there. So what do we got? So we've got Meyer with her pace, Robbie with his nous. This will be interesting.
So Meyer, one of the 5 females involved in wheelchair rugby. Very similar player to Isabella Ruback for the Polish side. Nice pass inbound. Good stuff, Cam Leslie. Great work from the Kiwis in Jennings. He tries to get the pass away. The Swedes have got the ball, and it goes across court. Nicely to Yet. Yet works hard. Look at Meyer charge. Jennings does his best, but here comes Sandberg. Gets the pass away, and it goes into the hands of Sandberg for the try, the Swedes. They just get that lead out to 2 points, probably the biggest margin for a little while, Grant.
And that was a concern I had when he went away from his number one lineup. Could the others sort of step up? And they need to play to their skills. So I'm a little concerned at the moment. But look, there's a long way to go in this game yet.
Nicely worked for Leslie. Leslie trying hard there. Jennings working nicely at the key. Meyer, you can see going for the pass. Gets the pass. Can she get the try? Bustles away over. Yes!
Yeah,
striking charge called at the line.
Yeah, look, they were a bit lucky there, really. He really didn't need to do that, but he did. And the Kiwis have been more than happy to take the goal.
So, of course, Meyer, she has a few fans in the stands. I saw Benji Marshall coming in earlier in the day. So, great to see the family support there for Meyer, a veteran of the sport, but just such a wonderful contributor for New Zealand wheelchair rugby.
Look, and an inspirational player too. I mean, a lot of things going on with Meyer, and she just keeps on turning up, keeps on performing. And the guys, if you're not feeling that flash, she just picks them up. So that's fantastic.
So the Kiwis now, they just bring that margin back to 2 points, and Sweden now are on the defence as Leslie works it nicely, spins a couple of times. Lofgren just stays in that position, but it makes Leslie regroup. Cody Everson, brilliant protection close to the line from Cody, and Leslie goes through for the try for the Kiwis.
Yeah, great use of Cody by Cam there. And it was really 2 on 3 attacking the key.
Nice work there from Sandberg. Sandberg works to Lofgren. Lofgren troubles Leslie. Jennings tries to get Sandberg but can't. Here comes Meyer on the flank. She's working hard. Bang into Sandberg. Makes him change his line, but Leslie bumps Yet through. And the try is scored for the Swedes.
So we've got a contact warning there.
So 23-21, just over 3 to play. Now, if you're in the market for a new wheelchair rugby chair, this Friday, August 10, get involved at the 2018 World Championship. IWRF, they'll auction off a Vesco competition wheelchair. It's valued at almost $9,000 as Cam Leslie scores for the Kiwis. Auction proceeds, they'll go to support the IWRF Hall of Fame. It's sponsored by Vesco Metalcraft. I encourage you to get involved. Head up online to participate, www.iwrf.com for all the details there. So we get back to live action, and Sweden on the attack now. Nice little tap away there from Jansen, and beautiful stuff from Sandberg. He'll hold up and go through with 21 seconds left on the shot clock.
I see they're using the twos, Robbie Hewitt and Meyer, to do a bit of double teaming on Sandberg. That's a lot of points, 4 points on, 3-5. So that's a bit of pressure.
Kiwis building nicely here. They're down by 2. Trying to get that margin back to 1. Cam Leslie goes there. Tyler Jennings works nicely close to the line. Brilliant stuff. Cody Everson.
Look, they trained this. They trained the positions. Cody knew where to go. Cam knew where he'd be. That's classic.
Ball inbound for Sweden from Lofgren to Yet. Yet, he'll go downtown. Here comes the flying Romero. No, it's Janssen. And he'll go inside and he'll score that try. So he goes over for another one for the Swedes. And 25-23, the margin back to 2 with just over 2 to play. Terrific contest. We hope you're enjoying the live coverage over the last 4 days. Stay with us. We're here to Friday and the gold medal game. We spoke off air a little bit about some of the teams that have been impressing us both. Grant, who do you see as a possible finals contention for that Friday game?
Well, if I was a betting man, Jono, I think we're talking USA, Australia. And if that is the case, it'll be fascinating. We know what the Aussies bring. The bat and bond show, great players. US strong right across the court. Lots of tactics involved. It'll be a real spectacle. But this is the business end of the tournament. All these games are starting closer and closer.
So Leslie goes hard at the line. Tries to charge through. Janssen couldn't quite get him on that occasion. And the Kiwis strike back. So the margin back to 1 point. 25-24 in favour of Sweden.
They need a turnover. They need a turnover, and they need it now.
So the ball will go down for Sweden. Yet he'll just fire it downfield. Looks like Janssen down in backcourt. He'll take it nicely.
Great use of spreading the court there, sending a guy long. Ball goes up. It's money in the bank. They've got to deal with that. They've got to find a way to shut him down.
Now, see, I'd probably say Japan, for me, would be a side that'll play Australia in the final. They're both undefeated. I agree with your sentiments regarding the US, but Japan, they're a tough side. It'll be interesting to see how that goes later today when Australia and Japan face off against each other at 6:30.
Oh, look, that probably would be almost the game of the tournament other than the gold medal game. Two very similar sides, high-low lineups, extremely skilled, well-drilled. It's a team that turns up on the day, but at home, gee, you'd be hard-pressed to beat the Aussies at home.
How did you get involved in the coaching side of things from wheelchair rugby?
Well, retired after 2000 Sydney Paralympics. Took a couple of years off. The guys, first time we were out of the medals, came sixth, I think, in Sweden. And I thought, no, we're better than that. So put my name forward, really. Bloody stupidest thing I've ever done. But
So you would have played on this court at the Paralympics in 2000?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
cool.
And thank you to for winning the semi that we were leading, because that really killed it, actually. I retired after that.
Well, I was actually sitting just over there in the stands watching that one. So
yeah. Well, I was pretty upset about that, but oh well. These things happen.
As Janssen goes through for it, the try for Sweden, the margin now back to 2. Oh, don't worry, mate, I've forgotten all about it. So
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, well, I haven't. I still think about it.
Grant Sharman joining me in commentary. New Zealand rugby royalty, really, a former coach taking the side to the Athens Games in 2004 and various other championships. Wonderful to have you here in the booth for this game as Leslie takes it forward for the Kiwis. Nicely works towards the line. Brilliant stuff there from Cody Everson just on the flank. Jennings is working nicely too. Leslie some work to do. Has Myra in front, but she's blocking Ricard. Bang goes Leslie through, and he gets the try there. The margin back to 1. 27-26, 30 seconds to go before half-time.
So this will be interesting. The pressure's on now. People got to stick to their job. So Robbie's gone long. He's sticking with the long players, so they haven't got that option anymore. Force the pass. Let's see. Oh, nice work by Sandberg. See, no panicking. They'll wind the clock down and execute well.
So Sandberg works it nicely inside that attacking key. Just tries to get it to Lofgren, but he's trying to lock up Umai. You saw the little what for that from Umai, which was terrific. And Janssen goes through for the points with 5 seconds left on the clock. 28-26, a terrific game in progress here. We hope you're enjoying it on the live streams. It'll be late afternoon for the Kiwis and probably the middle of the night for the Swedes, Grant.
Yeah, something like that.
Sandberg works it nicely. Last seconds, they needed a turnover, and they've got it.
Oh, my goodness, that was just... Oh, what's happening here? So the ref disagrees with that. There's going to be hold all tickets.
Yeah, might have been a timeout called, I think, late in the piece.
No, he's done something wrong here, so...
Okay, so there's a player in the bench now. I think this happened at the end of the first quarter, didn't it? The player went off late?
Yes, I'm not quite sure.
Take us to the replay's there with Yet just scoring the try.
technical foul, I think, because
Okay.
he's still in the bin at half time. So this will be some kind of technical foul. He might have hit him behind the axle or...
Okay, so whatever the decision is, I'm sure we'll get an answer in a matter of moments. Half time here. Sweden lead at 29 over New Zealand 26. We'll take a break, and on the other side, all the action of the second half.
Hello, Jean. Good of you to let your husband borrow your brand new car. Your insurance covers you, though, right?
I think so.
Jenny, you got a new employee and a new Narazzo 1300. That machine's insured, isn't it? Date night, eh?
Yeah, and our daughter's having a few friends over.
Yeah, I saw that on social media. I take it your home is insured for that. Don't just think you're covered, know you are with GIO.
See, feel, climb. First out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies. Go down dark alleys, lose yourself. Catch a lift, break new ground. Turn things inside out. Go walkabout, get set. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
Linda, Lindsay, look at you two. Date night?
Our daughter set it up.
Well, that is a thoughtful child.
I know, right? She even booked us dinner in a hotel. She might even have a few friends over.
Yeah, I reckon there's 120 people coming to your house tonight. You are insured, aren't you? Don't just think your home is covered. Know it is. With accidental damage cover with GIO Platinum Home Insurance.
And welcome back to the second half action at the Key Centre for this really exciting clash between the Kiwis and the Swedes. If you're just joining us, Sweden, they lead it narrowly, 29-26. John O'Farr and Grant Sharman in commentary. Grant, it's a really strong performance here for New Zealand today.
they've been doing really well. They just dropped the ball literally at the end of the second half to allow the Swedes back in. Luckily, they got the inbound, so it'll bring it down to a 2-point deficit, but they need a turnover and they need it fast.
So Hayden Barton-Coots just brings that margin in a little bit more, 29-27 there. And it's 7.5 to go as Janssen will fire it inbound. Leslie's just in key, but it'll go across to Sandberg. The turnover.
There's
That's what
the mistake.
The Kiwis needed.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, it just went across the face of Cody Everson there. Couldn't quite hold it. Roltz just does his best to come in. HPC goes bang into Sandberg. But the Swedes respond with a try through Yet.
I think I just saw the Swedish coach go and buy a raffle ticket.
30-27. He won't want to miss too much of this one because we're in for a big finish as Coots comes through. Third term now. Great to have your company here this afternoon on day 4 of the GIO IWRF Wheelchair Rugby World Championship as Barton Coots just goes left and right around Janssen. Terrific play, really using his size well there, Grant.
Look, he's a big man. He's got faster and faster and faster. He's got smarter. He's a real asset now. He's gone back to his starting lineup, and these guys are really gelling well. Can they bring it back?
So now the margin back to 2. Nice little collision with Leslie and Sandberg. They need a turnover here, the Kiwis. Long pass down court. It'll find Sandberg with a couple of bounces. Here comes Everson. Thought he was going to get it for a second there, Grant.
Oh, I think he whispered something in his ear.
That's always been his first mistake, Cody.
Yeah.
As he moves the ball in field.
Oh,
nicely to
that was
Leslie.
close.
Sandberg almost got it, didn't he? Comes hard. Cody Everson working brilliantly in defence. Kiwis on the charge. Hayden Barton-Coots. He just comes forward, provides protection on Sandberg, and Leslie gets the try for the Kiwis.
I've got to say, Jono, coming back to this tournament, it's good to see some old faces, a few dinosaurs, the old Australian first coach, old Daryl. I'm surprised he's still alive.
I call him Mr. Overtime.
Mr. Overtime.
He gets filthy because he has to pay the venue more money if we go overtime.
I like the fact that retirement ain't let him out. That's what I like.
Well, they have day release these days.
Nice.
So it goes into Thomas Yet, and the Swedes, they get the try. 32-29, 6:24 left in this third term as the Kiwis now respond through Coots. You can see Everson just trailing Coots there.
Slight change of tactics here. The Swedes have gone back in defence. I think they fancy their chances of a few turnovers from the Kiwi key attack. Let's see how well they've executed this.
Leslie will work it nicely, left and right around the key. Cody Everson providing protection. Was there a hand there for Thomas Yet for the Swedes?
Yeah, that's what the referee said, so the Kiwis got the ball back. But this is what I mean. The Swedes are going on to key defence, and they think there's a turnover to be had here.
So the play to be inbound here with Everson. Everson taps over the top nicely. Punched away there. Leslie works it nicely. Left and right. Tries to go at the line. Big collision with Hayden Barton-Coots. Leslie now tries to go and sets himself up again. Nice to Hayden Barton-Coots. And Coots gets the try for the Kiwis. Great catch. 32-30. Margin back to 2, Grant.
Great understanding between Cam and Hayden. Hayden went in. Cam knew he'd be there. Passed the ball and Hayden picked it up out of the air. You know, that's that real cohesion now.
So it's nicely played there by the Swedes. Working well.
Ooh, that's got to hurt. That's going to hurt. Now, what's the ref going to call here? So he hit him behind the axle, but there's an element of, you know, how much did Cam fall out? How much was he knocked out? I'm not sure what the referee's call here. No one's going to the bin, so I think it's probably incidental.
So there's the collision again there. It was Leslie on Yet. Leslie looks okay there, as you can see on screen.
Yep. He'll have a headache after the game, but he'll be fine.
So the coaching staff, they do a wonderful job getting the players ready for games, preparing themselves in terms of their chair, in terms of their fitness. You know all about that, Grant. Did you have any sort of different tips or secrets or to change it up at times? What was your moment operandus?
I think the big thing was giving the players ownership. We hear a lot these days, but you know they've got to play the game and they've got to own the game, and so I was getting them involved, etc. That's probably, I think, one of the big things. And the other thing was the value, you know, the culture of the side, playing for each other, training hard, doing stuff when other teams weren't doing. Massive concentration and commitment, probably.
So a nice pass to Lofgren.
Oh, here we go.
Taps it away, but Sandberg says, no, I didn't do anything, sir.
Where's the ref? Which way is the arm going to go? Wait for it. Oh, she's not sure.
Checking with the other ref.
Let's go to TMO.
The TMO. Call is there, thumbs are up. Which way's it gone,
So I
Grant?
think they decided it was a jump ball because they weren't too sure, so it's shared possession. They're looking at the arrow, and they're going to give it back to the Swedes. My goodness, they've had some luck in this quarter.
33-31, Sweden by 2, 5:23 to go before three-quarter time here at the Key Centre. The second last game of the day, the last game, Australia-Japan. That'll get underway at 6:30. Should be a great battle between Riley Batt and Daisuke Ikazaki. Nice inbound there for the Swedes. Yat under some pressure, almost got it there through Leslie. Leslie tried to tap it away, comes away for Sandberg. Good hands, here comes Coots. Coots tries to get him, launches him nicely, but just can't. Taps him through, and he goes through for the try in Sandberg.
Look, great pace by Sandberg. Wheel for wheel, just had it. But they're putting the pressure on the Kiwis. It's going to come.
Nice pass to Coots. Coots fires it over the top. Leslie gets it. Beautiful work from him. Goes through for the try. 5 minutes to go before three-quarter time. Terrific game on offer here. 34-32 in favour of the Swedes. You're absolutely right. Sweden, they're getting all the luck so far.
Yeah, they are getting the luck. At some stage, it's going to run out. So, and could this be it? Yes, it is.
Everson gets it. Beautiful work. Body on the line.
The ref, what's the ref done? What's she done?
Leslie, what's he calling?
No, I'm pretty sure the Kiwis will keep the ball, but there's a danger element, so the ref's pulled it up, so Cody's back on. If you're behind the play when you come out, the refs, they're not interested. But obviously it was a line ball, and so she stopped it. Possession should still be Kiwis.
Take us through this replay here, Grant.
So, low point inbound, he's bundled it up. They put pressure on the receiver. Cam's just snatched it. He's just like a robber's dog, just taking that out.
You got to hand it to Cody Everson. Put his body on the line in that particular collision.
And the Swedes are giving a lot of attention. Why would you put attention on a one-pointer? Because he's being a pain in the ass. He's doing his job well.
I couldn't have summed it up better for Cody. Oh, I love him to bits. He's a great kid. As Coots now moves in court, goes hard at the line, and the Kiwis bring it back to 1 point.
Is this the comeback? Here we go. There's a point in it. Oh, who's going to hold their nerve, eh?
Oh, keep it cool, Green. Keep it cool.
I'm loving it.
As Sandberg fires it inbound.
Come on, Cam. Push.
Here comes Sweden. And Tomas Yet will score the try. So the margin goes back to 2, 35-33, 4.5 to play.
You've got to watch the Swedish coach, old Benoit. He's walking up and down. His nails have all gone. His hair's gone grey.
I think his hair was grey at day one.
That's prerequisite for coaching. That is grey hair.
Oh, when they took on Denmark in the early contest at the Netball Centre.
Yes. Good win to the Danes.
Yeah, wonderful game. I think it was 3 points from
It wasn't much.
57-54.
Yeah, it looked
like
very close.
And it was quite amazing because the last time they'd faced off each other against, I think it was the Canada Cup in Vancouver, and I think it was a very similar score. Maybe 4 points instead of 3, but something like that. But it was in the 50s. So just such a great game that was for day one of the competition.
It was quite brutal, that Danish-Swedish game. They were really going for it. I quite liked it.
Yeah, Sweden really came at the Danes in the final term.
Yeah.
And now Coots works it nicely. Just left and right. Comes back at them now. Coots looking for an opportunity. Squeezes through. Lofgren to beat. Pops the pass. Beautiful stuff. Cam Leslie close to the line. Gets the try.
And look, that's really good play. He looked up. He didn't panic. He nailed the pass. Oh, so Hayden was a bit too close to the inbound. Then you've got to give him a metre, and I think Hayden just got a wee bit close there.
So Lofgren's about to inbound. The margin, as you can see, 1 point. 4:14 to go before three-quarter time as Sandberg.
Let's see if the Swedes try and lock up Hayden here to force an inbound.
Well, they give the pass across court.
Yep.
Yet'll slow down the clock, as you can see in the top of your screen. 25 seconds left on that shot clock. Moves in across court. Tomas Yet working nicely.
You can see the tactics here. So they've locked Cody actually in the key. So if he doesn't inbound, when the clock starts, his 10-second count starts. Good play by the Swedes, except Cody's their natural inbounder, so he won't care. He'll just call inbound. Yep, pick me. I'm the inbounder.
So Yet scores the try on that occasion. Took his time, 36-34. The margin two, just over 3.5 to play. Looks like the Kiwis have called a coach's timeout.
And probably a good thing. They've got some momentum. Let's just talk about it, gather our thoughts. Do we need to adapt? We've got under 4, so just under 3.5 minutes, or just over 3.5 minutes to go. What are we going to do? They're keying up. You know, is our key attack on? Are there some subtleties there? What's Andy got in his bag of tricks? What's up with that goatee? What the hell happened there? Hey, what did he stick in glue or something?
From everything I've heard, apparently the beards are in.
Well, I mean, he's a conservative guy, but I don't know. I think he had a couple of beers and a bit, and it was all on.
You Kiwis have done some crazy stuff over the years. Maybe it's that. I don't know.
Well, maybe it is.
But I have heard, apparently the beard is in.
Well,
it's in. Ben
okay.
Fawcett and Michael Ozan. It seems to work for them, for the Aussies.
Yeah, exactly. Next thing, he'll have Santa Claus playing.
36-34 in favour of Sweden. A great game here.
And the Swedes have keyed up. They haven't tried no press. They're keying up. They're saying, come on, Kiwis, let's see what your key attack's like, because we think there's a turnover here.
So Coots will just take it to the line and just go inside that attacking quarter. Here comes Leslie, charging hard, bang into Jansen. Coots goes towards that far side, tries to work it around. Nice work there from Cody Everson in protection. Leslie now just coming back the other way, looking for an opportunity. Can they recreate that pass from earlier in the game? Leslie now waiting for the pass, creating the opportunity. Threads the needle. Barton Coots now to Leslie. Leslie now, he works in attack, gives it back to Barton Coots, takes it off the hands. Everson does well close to the line. Brilliant stuff from both sides. Which way's it going, Grant?
Oh, timeout call by Cody. Great call. But it was Keystone Cops in there. I tell you can make a movie out of that.
How did he call a timeout when he was juggling the ball?
Well, I think he just said, look, trust me, ref, I'm under control, timeout, and they bought it. He's the gift of the gab, that boy.
Yes, yes. Hey? He is incredible.
He flashed those eyes, and the ref went, God,
he could sell ice to the Eskimos, Everson.
He's got a truckload of it out there, too.
So, 3 minutes to go.
Look, the Swedes are confident that they're staying in key. You know, they nearly got a turnover. They think there's some money to be had here.
So now Everson to inbound it. What a game he's had for the Kiwis. Now Coots. Rolton there in defence. Nicely plays it. Leslie looks for an opportunity, but Coots says, I'm going to go myself. Great protection there from Cody Everson to lock out Lofgren. And the try comes the way for the Kiwis. The margin back to 1 now, Grant.
You should put that goal next to Cody Everson. He lined up. Hayden knew it was there. That's beautiful blocking. Great 1-point play.
So Yet now works it hard to the line. Goes down.
Force the pass.
Tries to look for an opportunity to give it away. Brilliant catch there from Sandberg. He'll go close to the line. He'll soak up a couple of seconds. And 26 seconds left on the clock, as you can see, when he goes over the try line.
So now the Kiwis are trying to stop the Swedes going back and setting up in key. So now you got 2 up and 2 back. That's what you want, a broken lineup. Here come the Swedes.
So here come the Kiwis. And they move it inside. Leslie goes bang into Lofgren.
Good hit. He's taking him over the side, eh?
Oh, what a hit.
Poor little 0.5.
Hang on a minute. Take us through this replay.
So he's lined him up. He's come through. He said, right, I'll have a bit of you. Look, Cam just had eyes for the 0.5 and over he went.
Wooshka.
Terrible man.
Inbound nicely to Sandberg. Goes down court. Comes away for Jansen, and Jansen will work it in field.
And look, classic spread the court. Guy down long, ball beats the man every time. Nice play by the Swedes.
So now it'll be inbound from Everson. Everson gives it to Coots. Coots just reached for it. Did well for it to keep the molten ball in his hands. Pops it over the top. Gives it away to Leslie. Leslie working his way through. The Swedes are coming in numbers. Jansen trying to cause problems. Brilliant work, Leslie. Draws the player in. Gives it Cody Everson. And the cheekiest player in wheelchair rugby scores a great try to bring the Kiwis within 1.
Look, he changed his role. He saw Ken was in trouble. He went wide, gave space, gave the option. Goal scored. Nice play.
Sandberg works it nicely. 38-37. Just under 2 to play before three-quarter time. He works it inside that defensive zone. Gives it across nicely. Yet fires the pass. And Jansen will go over for the try.
Great skills by Yet. He saw it coming. Just pushed it over the head. Lovely work.
Now Everson, fresh from his try. He inbounds. Looks for some opportunities. Has Coots in front. Coots juggles. Does well to get it. Geez, he did well. Rolton there. Fires the pass. Can Leslie get it? Will he run out of room? He'll have plenty of room. And the head-on shot shows that try.
Gee, you can see why coaches go great, don't you? The ball isn't. Yes, he's got it. Bloody hell.
Were you a coach that had white line fever that you just lived every single second?
Look, I was a coach that never yelled, but I got some photos of me absolutely screaming my guts out. But no bugger listens.
Well, he did pretty well at your level, so someone must have been listening.
Some must have listened.
So they played inbound Sweden. Nice pass from Yet. Gives it to Janssen. And Janssen works it to the key.
What the Kiwis got to do here, the Swedes have always got a player free. They've got to somehow negate that player and deny that option. It's just a little too easy at the moment.
Nice inbound from Everson. Finds Leslie.
We're getting near crunch time here. Coming up to a minute to go. They're down by 2. They need to score this. They need a turnover because the Swedes, if I remember rightly, have got the inbound. They must score last, the Kiwis.
Leslie just close at the line. Good work from Coots there. Leslie just, it might have been a hand there. Striking call from Sandberg. He's appealing it, but the referee says striking. And it's a penalty try.
Yeah, look, he went out and he reached. You know, they're 50-50 calls. Benoit's going, no, that's a hell ball. Andy's going, hell no, that's a reach.
So the play inbound for Sandberg.
Here we go. Oh, nice backspin.
Fires it back there for Yet. And Thomas Yet will just slow it down. The Kiwis come. Big collision there from Leslie. Yet will work it nicely. Gives it to Sandberg. Sandberg comes inside the attacking zone. Looks for an opportunity here for Sweden. Has Yet in front of him. Has Janssen just to the left of him. Now an opportunity possibly for Lofgren as he tries to go into that corner to block out Everson. Sandberg will work it. Takes his time. You can see 7 seconds left on the clock. He'll have to do something here quick. 18 seconds left on the game clock.
Yeah, so look, he's called a timeout. So that means they will get the last score. Well, should get the last score. So nice, good use of tactical timeout, and they could do it because they had it up their sleeve.
So now inbound. You can hear the dulcet tones of our court announcer, Gary Lowe, doing a wonderful job right across the week. Inbound nicely there from Lofgren. Away to Yet. Yet will play it nicely. Leslie, big collision. Sandberg tries to prevent him. Coots tried to block him. Great work from the Kiwis, and it comes loose. So 4 in the key is the call.
That's absolutely tragic. So from a Kiwis perspective. So now look how fast the Swedes, they're setting up, ready for that inbound. All dead ball time, and they're using it really well. Cam's out. What have they got? 3.5 seconds. Come on, fellas, you can do this.
We saw a try in the first quarter with 0.3 of a second left. What will Sweden do here?
We need Hayden in front. They've got to pass over. I think it's going to go to Thomas here. Oh, there's lots of pressure on.
Yet fires the pass. Sandberg, the head-on shot shows it well.
Oh, 0.5. Great work by Sweden.
Goes through for the try. Everson inbounds. Nice hands. Coots, he holds onto the ball.
Oh, look, that's a coach killer, really. Could have been 41-40. But never mind, it's not.
Final term coming up. We've got a thrilling finish. The Swedes lead it narrowly, 41-39. Back in a moment after this break.
Hello, Jean. Good of you to let your husband borrow your brand new car. Your insurance covers you, though, right?
I think so.
Jenny, you got a new employee and a new Narazzo 1300. That machine's insured, isn't it? Date night, eh?
Yeah, and our daughter's having a few friends over.
Yeah, I saw that on social media. I take it your home is insured for that. Don't just think you're covered, know you are with GIO.
See, feel, climb. First out, last in. Look round corners, look in crannies. Go down dark alleys, lose yourself. Catch a lift, break new ground. Turn things inside out. Go walkabout, get set. Go after the goosebumps. Never stop discovering.
Linda, Lindsay, look at you two. Date night?
Our daughter set it up.
Well, that is a thoughtful child.
I know, right? She even booked us dinner in a hotel. She might even have a few friends over.
Yeah, I reckon there's 120 people coming to your house tonight. You are insured, aren't you? Don't just think your home is covered. Know it is, with accidental damage cover with GIO Platinum Home Insurance.
And welcome back to the Key Centre. What a game we've got here on our hands. John O'Farr and Grant Sharman on the commentary. 41-39 in favour of Sweden. Grant, this is a big term for the Kiwis.
Is this the opportunity? So they got Thomas in the bin. They're going to score if they can trap him and force him to inbound. Can they cause some disruption on the Swedish inbound? This is their big chance. Down by 2. They got to nail this one.
Leslie just works it around the key, and he gets the try. So it gets back to that 1 point margin, 41-40 now. Still in favour of the Swedes, obviously. And it'll be Sandberg that has the inbound pass. And now the front comes for the Swedes. You can see Janssen in front. He goes short there. Back to Sandberg. Now Sweden, they just change up their roles. Sandberg tries to get the pass away. Connects beautifully with Janssen. Big hit from Coots. Play on is the call. What's the call? The Kiwi crowd love it, so it must have gone their way, Grant.
A bit of discussion between Cam. Something. Is he called a reach?
It'll be inbound for Sweden.
Oh, must have got a timeout. Anyway, the shot clock's still on 30, and I wonder if the 12-second clock's still running.
So Lofgren will inbound it. Gets the pass to Sandberg. Thought it might have gone a bit too far for him, but just passed it nicely high. Sandberg, great pass away to Janssen. Janssen zips away. Here comes Cam Leslie. Might be a bit of a collision here, close to the line. Janssen goes hard. Might be a reach call. It is.
Penalty goal.
Penalty goal to the Swedes. 42-40. 6:54 left as Everson will inbound for the Kiwis. Looks for an opportunity. Finds Leslie. Leslie works nicely. Great protection there from Rolton. Oh, gee, Sandberg. Didn't he try and reach for the Moulton ball there?
He put his mid out. Good work by Cam to use his low pointers, because if the high pointer runs away, well, the low pointers are no good. So he's taking his time. He's using the low pointers. Great work by Cam, and good positioning from the lows.
So he comes through for that try. So 42-41 now. Sweden to inbound. Lofgren looks for a couple of people to pass to. Goes the right side, and was almost touched by Leslie then. It's gone out of bounds. Lofgren and Janssen watch it go dead.
But the pressure's building, and the Swedes are going to start to doubt themselves. If they're going to get a turnover, it's going to come soon.
So the pass inbound nicely. Cody Everson, centimetres away from it. Probably inches as yet. Gets the points on that occasion. 43-41. 6.5 to go in this contest.
Something's happened here. The ref's not happy. He wants the ball given back to him.
So Everson will just regroup, and now he'll take on. Passes inbound, finds Coots. What a game he's played. Hayden Barton Coots for the Kiwis.
He's getting better and better as the tournament goes, and it's great to see too. He's a big man. He's fast. When he hits, you know you've been hit.
Coots, speaking of hits, he's gone bang to Janssen, and now into Sandberg. Works his way around nicely. Brilliant protection from Cody Everson. Rolton's nicely holding up the line there too. Might have to look for someone there, Coots. Finds Leslie. Leslie goes to flank. Finds left and right. Head-on shot shows the try beautifully. 43-42.
Yeah, I'm not sure that anger management's working too well for old Hayden, and it's a good thing in the sport.
As Lofgren now will inbound it for Sweden. What a game we've got on our hands here. Tap away. Who did it come off, Gary?
It came off Cam. Yeah, look, Cam, he's almost, at some stage, the Kiwis have got to get one of these 50-50 balls.
41, you're going to be up and about.
Oh, mate, I can feel movement back in my legs already.
Lofgren inbounds nicely. Finds it to Yet now. So the Swedes under some pressure. They lead by 1.
Oh, great block, though. Great block by number 2. Look, he just took Cam out of the play. Superb work.
That's great stuff from Lofgren. Rickard Lofgren and Thomas Yet will slow it down. And And he'll move at the line, and a nice little tap there from Leslie at the end.
Just a little love tap, so the relationship's still going well.
It's great camaraderie between the players, isn't it? Right across the board.
Yeah, it is, And there's a few smiles, a few little taps behind the wheel, a little grin, and your turn will come.
Smash each other on the court and then abuse it full time, huh?
That's the one.
Goes through for Cam Leslie. Nice try there for the Kiwis. They bring it back to 1. Oh, geez. I really hope for your sake, Grant, they can tie it up. What a finish it's going to be.
Wouldn't it be great to see a game going to overtime where we're due for one?
We are 4 days in.
Yep.
2 to go.
It's got to happen.
We might get one here. We might get another one with Australia-Japan as Tomas Yet now has possession for Sweden. Cody Everson trying to stop the play there, but Tomas Yet will slow down the clock and go through for the try.
Clearly they're locking Hayden up down here. They want him out of the play. They put 3 players on him. And they're prepared to maintain the double. So that should be a 3-on-2. The Kiwis should score this easily, 3-on-2.
Leslie works it nice inside the key. Has Rolton just on his left-hand side. Might use him for protection. Does beautifully well. Yet tried to get him, but jammed up with Rolton, and Leslie scores for the Kiwis.
Yeah, look, lovely skills by Leslie there. He slowed down, used his low pointer.
Nice work from Sandberg. Good
go,
pass.
Cody.
Cody's trying to get it.
Oh, nice
Gets
work.
the pass, but Jansen will take it out of the hands of Everson.
And great play by Jansen too. He lined it up, took it smoothly. I think the pace has picked up, Jono. I think it's more intense. I mean, the last quarter.
Certainly has Grant. Nice pass to Leslie. He'll find Coots in open court. And HBC goes through for the try.
Interesting, they double team 22. Hurt back in the front court, so now he's going to go to inbound. They're putting a lot of pressure on Thomas down here. Getting the ball into him, but not letting him run.
So Sweden on the charge now. They lost to Denmark by 3. They beat Japan by 2. And now they will lead by 2 with the Kiwis, courtesy of Yat. He'll just go at the line, 46-45, 25 seconds left on that shot clock before he gets the try.
And look, the Swedes want to run that clock down. They're not in a hurry to score. They've got a 2-goal lead. They're happy. Persisting with the key defence. They think that's where they're going to do well. Or are they getting tired? That's interesting.
So that'll be the telling tale in the next 4 minutes of this one. Leslie works his way nicely up the line. Just goes inside the attacking key. Has Hayden Barton Coots absolutely flying through for the line. But it'll be Leslie. Oh, did he bump the cone on his way through?
No, front 2 wheels. Front 2 wheels, Jono.
Oh, is that the head or the heart talking,
Put those
Grant?
bloody glasses on, Jono.
Take us through the replay. We'll have another look.
So Cam on one side. Hayden comes in. Everyone's looking at that. Cam slips in the back. But he just got...
Oh, hang on a minute. Do I still need the glasses?
Well, I don't know. They're slightly fogged up.
They might be a bit rose-coloured too, I think.
Just the other a tad. Here we go. Pressure. Long ball.
Good pass away, but Sweden might take it inbound. Leslie gets it. Ball comes loose. Not a bad result for the Kiwis.
Off the Swedes. So a bit of luck for the Kiwis there. And this is going to be the difference. Under 4 minutes... The Kiwis cannot afford to make a mistake, and neither can the Swedes.
So Cody Everson will work it. 48-46. What a game we're seeing here. Leslie just playing it at the line. The first time I've called the Kiwis in this championship, and they've certainly turned on a great game. Coots works it nicely, has Leslie inbound, tries to pass it, does well. Now Cam Leslie works it beautifully. Cody Everson protecting him nicely, gives him a path. Coots tries to get through. Rolton working nicely close to the line. Pops the pass. Coots one-handed. Brilliant. Backwards. Try.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Use of the reverse gear. Lovely.
48-47 in favour of Sweden.
I've got to say that reversing goal reminds me of a Johnson goal in the Athens gold medal. We backed about 5 metres and scored the goal, and we thought, what the hell's that boy doing?
Whatever works.
Exactly.
Goes in nicely to Lofgren, to Sandberg. Sandberg just tries to work away from one. Goes up the left flank. Now inside the attacking quarter. Goes over into the try area. And with 27 seconds left on that shot clock, he'll score the try for Sweden.
Great play by Lofgren down here, though. He set the pick, gave him the out, and he took it. Nice work.
Good inbound from Everson. Great work from Leslie. Hayden Barton Coots, you can see at the bottom of your screen, flying. He's getting some speed up now.
He's going to hurt someone.
HBC almost takes out one of the Swedish players. It was Sandberg. Brilliant pass from Leslie, and HBC gets the try for the Kiwis.
Look,
you like that one, Grant?
Oh, mate, I think the Swedes are wondering who's going to get hurt, and they're too busy watching that, and Hayden just slips in.
Sandberg, nice pass downfield, gives it a nice little Yet. Cody Everson trying to protect him. He's blocked up. Yet Thomas Yet there. But Yet will just get away from him and go through for the try.
I tell you what, I'm impressed with this Cody's inbound. There's a few twos. Wouldn't mind to be out inbound as well as he's doing.
Good pass across there to Coots. Coots takes on the line. You can see him at the bottom of your screen. Working hard, has Leslie just at the top of your screen. Now Hayden Barton Coots absolutely charging, bang into Sandberg, and he goes through for the try.
I think he said, I don't need a blocker or a pick, I'll just smash my way through.
It worked for HBC.
Yeah, it certainly did. Now the pressure's on, look. Oh, that's good.
Sandberg,
oh, was he over?
The pass goes loose.
Oh, I think the Kiwis were hard done by then. He went over the back court.
Goes across to Janssen, and Janssen will get the points for the Swedes.
Hang on, what's happening here? Timeout called.
Timeout called, looks like Sweden. Coach's timeout possibly.
Coach's timeout, yep. And I think that's a good call by Benoit too. You know, he wants to bring them in. Look, fellas, just over 2 minutes. Let's stay calm, grab a drink of water. We're going to carry on with the key defence. We're going to get a turnover and refocus them for the last 2 minutes. It's a good use of a coach's time.
51-49 in favour of the Swedes. Just over 2 to play. Of course, at 6:30 it'll be Australia-Japan, which promises to be possibly a World Cup final preview. And then 6:30 USA-Canada. You mentioned earlier in the broadcast, those two sides are just going to go hammer and tong.
Look, I think in the Australia-Japan game, you're looking at a war. And I think in the USA-Canada game, you're looking at a bloodbath. You know, I think the Americans, they're very strong. There's no love lost. I think they're going to hurt the Canadians.
Well,
you know, that could be a dangerous game.
You'll be able to catch both games on the stream. You might be able to set up 2 tablets and watch both games live, or you can watch the other one in a replay in the on-demand section. 2018 WRWC.com. Here come the Kiwis through Barton Coots. Tries to get the pass away to Leslie. Leslie working nicely. Everson in the key. Leslie now trying to get himself some space there for Coots. Coots, Roltz tries to work beautifully in defence. Has Sandberg 6s and 7s. Big collision close to the line. And Hayden Barton Coots gets the try, slams the molten ball down, and the Kiwis trail by 1.
Oh, look, he's a man mountain, isn't he? He comes in, he hits hard, he means business. Oh, hang on. What's going on here? Poor old Cody.
Yeah, he's copped a pretty heavy knock there.
Mind you, if you're going to say those sort of things to a 3-5, it's what you expect.
His lip might have got him in a bit of trouble again.
Yeah, I think he said something he shouldn't have said, but oh well. All's good and love. They'll have a beer afterwards.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. So he gets back on 2 wheels. So that's great to see. Looks uninjured, which is good. Straightens his gear up. Yeah. And looks like a tyre change for Tobias Sandberg there at the bottom of your screen.
The thing, when a player falls out like that, they've got a minute. And so you encourage them to just take that minute. You're falling out of your chair, get up, get reset, refocus, go again. Don't just rush it.
So Sandberg just taking his time there with that wheel.
I've got to say, John, we've only hit about 5 wheels.
Yes, yes.
It's been a drought of wheels.
And considering that tight scoreline, I would have thought there'd been a lot more.
Yeah, I agree. So I think the old mechanics are very happy.
Yes, yeah, they can actually watch the game.
Yeah, exactly.
As opposed to old mate that missed half the tournament.
Exactly.
So Lofgren now gives the ball away to Sandberg. Sweden on the charge here. 90 seconds to play in this one. Can the Kiwis force a miracle and get us to golden point? Into extra time. Another 3 minutes. 51-50. Ball goes over to Sandberg. Great catch from Yet. Everson almost tips over.
Yeah, just nice.
But stays level. And Yet gets the try there for the Swedes. So the margin to 2. Just over a minute to play. Big final 60 seconds coming up for both sides. Here come the Kiwis. Now Cam Leslie works his way nicely in the key. Tries to go at Janssen. Has some opportunities on his right. Doesn't take him. Threads the needle. Gets the try for the Kiwis.
Look, they need a turnover. Nice work. But it's about turnovers now. They need these turnovers. Don't put 2 threes on them.
Yet has the pass inbound from Lofgren.
Don't reach.
A minute to go in the game. What a finish we've got here. 52-51. Kiwis need to force the mistake here. Look at the pressure. Coots gives the ball across to Sandberg. Sandberg to Leslie. Leslie now just trying to punch away Sandberg. Sandberg looking for an option. Has Lofgren there. Has Jansen. Which way will he go? Pops the pass. Miracle bounce needed. Gives it to Yet. Yet takes it through to the try.
Good safe hands by the Swedes. Credit where credit's due.
53-51. Leslie gets the inbound from Everson. Look at the Kiwis now. A little bit more punch and attack. Leslie won't waste any time. Big collision close to the line with Jansen. Needs to get the pass away. Rolton protecting beautifully. Great work from HBC. Goes at the line, gets the try. Back to 1 point. 53-52. Big 24 seconds.
If it's got to happen, it's got to happen now. There's no tomorrow.
Listen to the crowd. They've lifted here at the Key Centre. Ball goes across for the Swedes. Now to Yet. Pressure applied. Coots flying everywhere. 18 seconds on the clock. Nice passage there from Yet. Works his way nicely. Comes through. Lofgren's locked up.
They're going to hang on to it.
Ball going everywhere. Goes to Sandberg. He'll tap it through. The Swedes are going to win it. Oh, fallovers. There goes Leslie. Try.
And that's the ball game. Great effort by the Kiwis. They really threw everything at them. Good composure by the Swedes.
I haven't seen the Kiwis in this tournament. This is the first time for myself live, but this has got to be one of their best performances of the tournament.
Look, I think so. I think they've really lifted. Andy's pretty settled on his number one lineup. They've handled the jandle. You'd have to question the subs in the second half there, but he's got a bench. He's got to use it, I suppose, but really close. 3.7. Kiwis got a timeout. You know, anything's possible, but I think we're in the miracle department now.
Yeah, 54-52. So the Kiwis go to the bench. You can see the Swedes on camera there sorting themselves, and there's the Kiwis just having that final chat. 3.7 seconds left in this contest. It looks as though it's a Swedish win, as you said, Grant, unless a miracle occurs. What a performance from Sweden. They, as I said earlier in the broadcast, they went down by 3 to Denmark. They lost by 2 to Japan, and they looked as though they were going to win that game. And they've just got over the Kiwis by 2 here. So this is a performance that the Kiwis should be really proud of here.
Yeah, look, I think so. I mean, look, they'll be disappointed. They had higher aspirations from this. They lost by a net's ball to Denmark.
Yes, the one. Yes, that's
you
right.
know, and I mean, too close. If they'd gone to the way they wanted to, they'd be in that middle division. I tell you what, though, there's a good chance we could see New Zealand and Canada play off for 9th and 10th. And I've got to tell you, that'd be a game worth watching.
Yeah, not bad. The Canadians, they've been a little bit disappointing, a different side this year.
Shall we just say there's a bit of history there, Jono? Shall we just say that?
Yeah,
back through the years.
I can imagine there would be.
Yeah.
I can imagine there would be.
Yeah.
And that's the place that, you know, you're going to see that rivalry here in the Wheelchair Rugby World Championship.
Yes, absolutely.
Of course, Great Britain and France is currently underway over at the Netball Centre. I'll be keen to see who's managed to get one over there. But you talk about rivalries, the Brits and the French. Oh.
That goes back hundreds of years, doesn't it?
Yes.
You know? So, and the thing is, there's a lot riding on that because the winner of that will be in the top 4, will be, you know, potentially a semi-finalist and playing for gold and silver. Here we go.
Sandberg just has the Moulton ball, goes to ground with it. What a performance from Sweden, but what a performance from the Kiwis. A wonderful game of wheelchair rugby. Sweden win it 54-52. A terrific game we've seen here, Grant.
Yeah, we have. We've seen a good, tight game. We've seen some lovely tactics, some great execution. Look, the Swedes got the luck, but sometimes that happens, and they didn't squander it. They've taken the win, and good on them. You know, a good game of wheelchair rugby.
Well, you can see the two sides coming together. Hildebrand leads it for Sweden, and Rolton leads it for the Kiwis. That's the great unity among the wheelchair rugby family. A terrific contest we've seen here, 54-52. Grant Sharman, wonderful to have you here in the broadcast. You've done a superb job, sir.
Jono, thank you for having me. It's been a real pleasure. I'm just glad I'm not out there.
Well, you never know. You might be back as a coach if they need you. 54-52. The Swedes win it by 2. My name's John O'Farr. Thanks for watching. The next game up is Australia-Japan and USA-Canada. Both games are on the live stream. 2018 WRWC. We hope we can have your company for both those clashes. Until then, it's bye for now for the Key Centre.